Hello, it's Wednesday, the 3rd of March 2021, and it is just about in Leo time as I started making this Leo meridian time, so 11 till 1. Today we begin Blue Storm Wavespell, and this is my Wavespell and my mum's Wavespell. So I'm feeling really inspired and connected to this transformation time. So we're here, Blue Storm. And this is really, really key to the year that we're in on the planet, which is Blue Lunar Storm. And the next 13-year cycle that will be coming up in 11 years' time, which will be a very transformative time on the planet. Then where will you be? Where will I be? What will we be doing then? Something to focus on as to goals and what we want to create at this time of year. Tune in to our dreams and why we came here at this time. So we've nearly completed this 4th 20-day cycle. So tomorrow will be the final day for that. And then we'll begin the 5th column at the top with a mastery of alchemy, because it begins with Red Electric Dragon. So how are you doing on your journey? How are you doing with your own personal story and being the hero and heroine of your own movie at this time? So we've just gone into Pisces energy. And so this is really key this week, is all about understanding our karmic stories, our storylines. And we've got lots of powerful astrology happening this week as well. So it's a really, really magical time to do this transformation. Today we have got the moon in Scorpio. And of course, we just had the full moon in Virgo, which was a lovely energy at the weekend, Saturday morning here in the UK, early morning, around about 8 o'clock. That was a really fantastic day for me personally, and it really feels like spring here in the UK. The weather has started to warm up and we've been getting more sunshine, and you can feel the warmth in the sun as well. So today is a really good day to set an intention. Scorpio moons are fantastic for doing that, and in alignment as always with this energy of transformation, being the catalyst, being the change, and being in our emotional centre. That is the key. So Scorpio at number 9, a hand with 6 fingers, complex nature, containing within yourself an extra spiral of self-obsession and ultimately superlative capacity, subjecting yourself to grueling ordeals, rites of passage, knowing that if you can eliminate your stark weakness, you can grasp hold of your boundless strength. The weakness is that you refuse to believe in yourself, and this is a hard one to uproot. You must, against the grain, find any and every possible way to get around your own adamant self-rejection. The weakness is based upon karmic past experiences in which you failed yourself. Now you assume it will happen again. So building up strength and courage inside towards self-overcoming is the path. And paradoxically, in order to forge such a deepening of life will, you must endanger yourself and expose yourself to radical crises in order to rally to your own side and come into your truth, in the midst of cutting through your falsehood, thus reclaiming the primal ground of a form of selfhood that is mutational, wildly improbable, and just could be real after all. Lovely. Okay, so exciting cards today coming up. Hecate. Transformation. Be with me at the crossroads of life so that my decisions will be guided by crone wisdom. As I age, let me turn to ancient wisdom, honour that which has gone before, and accept what life brings at each stage on the journey to cronedom. Transformer energy. Great. I just love synchronicity. It's so fabulous. So, what does that mean? Okay, so here's the book, The Mayan Oracle, that goes with the cards. Transformer, planetary reality, collective dream field, self-healing transducer. You are a planetary transformer. Awaken to your vast potential. In receiving this lens, you're being asked to transform the collective reality constructs of this planet by expanding your own limiting belief systems. By their sheer force, the collective energy and thought forms of all human beings shape reality into what we perceive. What we call reality is actually a collective dream field, a holographic reflection of our shared beliefs. As you process your personal experience of apparent separation, pain, fear, denial, judgment, and limitation, you bring healing and integration not just to yourself, but to all of humanity. Your personal changes affect the collective reality of the entire planet. In fact, all your dreams, visions, and beliefs have an impact on the collective dream field. By simply embodying the consciousness of love, you help to realize the miracle on earth. Choose to enter consciously into the evolutionary playing field of the greater reality. On your journey, you will encounter feelings that reflect parts of yourself that have not totally been freed into love. These feelings will give you the keys to your transformative power. Come, dance, and play in this dynamic planetary field. Do your personal part, your own self-healing. Offer yourself as a transducer for clearing and transforming the collective planetary field. Help to midwife the emerging reality. Let self-healing be your walking stick and transformation your planetary path. Yay! Fabulous. Love it. So that's what Blue Storm is all about as a planetary energy as well. And the planet is Pluto. So it's all about healing our shadow story, remembering that everything is tied in together. So we have experiences in life and we make meaning out of them, and then they create belief systems. And these are revealed every day in our thoughts, which create emotions. And so if we are having an experience, for example, where we're going out feeling confident and in a really lovely space where we feel life is magical and joyful and wonderful, then that energy creates a dynamic, and that dynamic is then felt by other people, and we relate and have experiences based on that space. On a different path, we might be full of fear and wounding and believe that everybody out in our circle is there to hurt us in some way, like we've been hurt before. And so that creates a very different energy and a very different life experience. And my understanding and my experience has been that using this framework of the holograph, we see who am I and who are other people, and how does this game of life fit together. So if I am experiencing some fear experiences, then there's always an old storyline there to be cleared. And I use emotional freedom technique, which you'll know if you watch my videos. And this is the secret to it all. This is the magic. This is the alchemy. This is how we come into our center of the storm, and how we come into rebalancing and recalibrating our heart through healing, which is why you can't just do it with your head. And although the part that helps you do this as well, the amygdala, is of course in the head, so it's working this magic alchemical pathway to see that we are actually shaping our destiny through our own personal healing journey, so we don't get stuck on the old storyline. So in terms of Thoth card today, we have got the Six of Swords, which is science. So swords are all about the mind and coming into balance with the mind. So I'm just going to read you from Eli, as always. Okay, so huge amount of information again on this card, which of course there is in all of these cards. This card is influenced by Mercury in Aquarius, which is the energy where we've had the retrograde, where we've been going back over old ground. And this is, of course, shifting this week. Just had a panicky moment there. So I'm still learning this technology. I'm learning so many different systems at the moment. And again, Mercury in Aquarius, this is key. So as I'm recording this Zoom, I'm pressing on these different buttons. So do bear with me. I know it's a bit glitchy at times. So I'm pausing, and so you may see me appear in a different place. So yes, bear with me. Got to have fun with these things. Okay, so it's actually changing that dynamic today. First thing that I want to say is Mars goes into Gemini today until April the 23rd, which is St. George's Day. So lots of different communication happening now around co-creation, because Gemini is traditionally in the house of co-creation, the third house. So our masculine energy, taking action around communication, refining our communication, that is really key, and it's key to science as well. So are we coming from our head communicating? Are we communicating from our heart? Learning the science is key. Learning how people like to be related to is key. Loving and respectful relationship. Learning what patterns have created emotional wounding for us on a personal level, healing them and not doing them anymore. And learning ways to be in our power, to be assertive rather than aggressive, and using emotional freedom technique when we've been triggered, so that we don't carry the storm on. That's really key as well. So if you'd like to know more about that, then please do get in touch with me. My website is flowwithjo.com. Anyway, jumping about with the Mars in Gemini energy, back to the card. So we have the higher intellect, which is from our higher self, Mercury, messenger of our God and Goddess. And as I said before, this is influenced by Mercury in Aquarius. So what have you learned over the Sun in Aquarius time, and when Mercury went back over old ground around groups, around your bigger picture, around your gift, you know, what you're here for in this lifetime. We had that amazing new moon in Aquarius where we had literally karmic shift is possible now. And I know through speaking to people in my circle that lots of people have been having a different way of communicating and doing relationship. So in 6 weeks or 6 months, we shall have experienced or will experience labour work and even a journey, probably over water, because of the Aquarius influence. So that would be profound at this time, wouldn't it? Magical, even, because of the lockdown. So that's really, really key. So it's about using the whole mind. Look at what is really there rather than what we want to see. So a reality check as well. Being discerning, being creative, being solution focused as well, very much, rather than sticking with the old storyline. Looking at what triggers us, what's ours, what do we need to heal, and also making decisions around people, places, environments that we're in. If somebody has a very different communication style, has a very different way of relating, can we stay in that relationship? Do we really want to be the person who is always making up the difference, making up the energy, and bringing balance in, for example? Or do we want to let that person do that for themselves now? That's really, really key time. So we're in the 52-day cycle of creating heaven on earth. So we've had Red Skywalker, and we've just finished White World Bridger. So Red Skywalker was all about following on from Red Dragon on the 15th of December, which is when this circle started, back up here at the top. So we were initiated with all our survival issues in those first 52 days. And then in the next 52 days, we were really working with, okay, so what created hell for me? And really digging down into that energy. Cosmic interruption there. So where was I? Yes, so we're creating heaven on earth and going with the flow, whatever shows up, whatever's in our circle, and being as flexible as we can around understanding our personal holograph and awakening to what creates heaven for us, what creates hell for us, based on our whole life, and also based on our ancestral pattern and our wounding, of course, in particular. So in the previous 13-day cycle to today, we've been refining that. What needs to go? Where do we need to take action around the old world? Because thinking that we can do the same thing and get a different outcome doesn't really work, does it? No matter how much we change, we can't change other people. If we're doing something, being in a relationship with somebody, an environment, a job, a career that doesn't set our heart on fire, that doesn't inspire us, then we are just surviving. We're not really living. We're not coming from a really inspired heavenly space. And life is short. So it's remembering that. And when we were younger, speaking for myself, in my teens and 20s, it seemed like life would go on forever. And even though older people tell you that life passes quickly, it doesn't feel that way when you're that age. And it's not meant to, because that's the difference of the different ages and what we experience at that time. Now, for me, I have lived a good portion of my life, and I know what inspires me and I know what doesn't inspire me. And I also know that it's the inside that creates the outside. So it is me who has a version of this life. And I know that my emotions, my triggers show me what doesn't feel good. And then I can heal that, and also I need to take action on that as well by not doing that anymore. So anything that is toxic to my life, to whether it's my environment or whether it's something I'm putting into myself, the food that I eat, how I choose to relate to myself, that's the key. And of course, all of us have learned certain ways that may not serve us as human beings, because these relationship patterns that we have on the planet are very out of balance, and slavery patterns, basically, that we are still processing, that we're still moving through. So at this time, this blue storm time, we've got all the information. We've got all, as alchemists, we've got all the prima materia back from the beginning of life, but specifically back to the 15th of December. You will know what has been pushing your buttons, what you've been awakening to, what needs to end so that something can begin. Time to tune into your dreams, time to really focus on feelings with Pisces, sensitivity, boundaries. How can I get clear about what I want to shape in the world through shaping myself? The next cycle is coming up on the 29th of March, and this is my son's birthday, so a very special time for him because he'll be starting a new 13-year cycle of awakening. And where this begins is here in the blue with 10 portal days of human evolution, taking us into the center, the spinal column, and then coming out here with 13 days of manifestation of where we are as a star seed, remembering who we really are and letting go of our ego coping mechanisms. So we've got 10 portal days there. I'm starting a 52-day program for people, and I still have some spaces. So if you're interested in getting involved, then please do contact me on my contact form on my webpage, flowwithjo.com. It's right there on the first page. Send me your information. I'm in the process of creating a whole amazingly exciting concept now that I'm going to be bringing out in the near future to share with people, to really consolidate all of this learning and experience that I've had over the last 13 years, in particular, using emotional freedom technique, so that people will have a system that they can use to really start alchemically working with their process. And it is really, really magical. It works. I've used this formula now with many, many people over this time. And now, combined with the cosmology and the astrology, it's a winning formula to help us launch our reason for being here, to share our gifts at this time. So back to the astrology. The people that I'm working with at the moment, I use this PDF to work out their cosmic codes. So every day they have a connection to look at as to what's going on in the starry skies, and specifically for them what the code is. So this 13-day process, we have a new moon coming up, for example, on the 11th day at 23 degrees of Pisces. Mars going into Gemini today. And Sun in Pisces square the North nodes also on day 3. So just to scroll down. So this is the sort of information that people get who are doing this drilling down of their storyline so that they can become really clear and use this energy and framework in the way that it was written to be used in my belief system. So, for example, tomorrow we have got Mercury conjoining Jupiter. So an amazing day tomorrow of new learning around light, around mastery of the story as well, mastery of connecting to the higher self. We've got some really lovely energy coming in this week. We have got on the start of the 20-day cycle, so on Friday, we've got Sun squaring the nodes. So we've got a big change of fate going on Friday. So look out for that. On Saturday, we have got the asteroid Psyche conjuncting the North Node in Gemini. And so that's an amazing day for really coming into connection with spirit and truth and being able to be free to be truthful as well. On day 8, Wednesday the 10th, we've got Sun and Neptune in conjunction in Pisces. So secrets coming to light there. An ability to integrate our old story, because on day 8, we're always going back over the previous Wavespell. On day 9, Thursday the 11th, it's my Mayan day. Wahey. So that will be an interesting day for me. And I've got some very key things coming in where I'm doing some coaching around how to form this new process that I'm putting in place. So watch this space. I'm excited about that. Day 11, Saturday the 13th of March, that's when the new moon in Pisces is. And then on day 13, Mercury goes into Pisces. And our higher self connects to consciousness, karmic soul stories, and so the ability to see what is seeking to shift around our childhood, in particular childhood story. Okay, so an amazing day then of really looking at all of this energy of coming into this 5th channel. And in terms of my mum's energy, which is day 7, red resonant serpent, she is a portal day of human evolution. And again, we've got another portal coming up on the 10th day with yellow star. Day 10, the manifestation day, being the star that we really are. So it's an amazing process that is so key to embrace, I feel. So instead of feeling that we have problems and we have storylines that are challenging, it's remembering that we can learn these tools. There are lots of ways to help ourselves process this information now. And if you haven't checked out Emotional Freedom Technique yet, please do. It will change your life. It's changed mine. It's changed hundreds of people's lives that I've worked with. It's empowering. It's the secret. And as I say, if you want to know more, you want to have a chat with me, you want to see how Emotional Freedom Technique can really work for you, then get in touch on the contact form and we'll schedule a laser focus session so you can look at what's been triggering you and how to let it go, how it can take you into a whole different space of living magically at this time. So, what we often see as the problem is also the solution. Lots of love to you all. Hope you have an amazing 13-day process and see you soon. I'll be making a video about the new process.